So today we have with us Dr. Nanasaheb Memane, and I'll just speak a short introduction for actually, since the topic is such a special topic regarding the food and the diet. So we are very fortunate to have someone who is a follower of Bhagavad Gita since few more than 2 decades, and also he is a Ayurvedic doctor. So it's a very good combination of medical and spiritual knowledge both. Dr. Nanasaheb is a Ayurvedic consultant and head of Ayurvedic department in Bhaktivedanta Hospital, as you all know about the hospital. And he's working in the, he's university topper, Ayurveda Vachaspati. And he's treating patients from more than 40 countries since 15 years. And some of the main areas of treatment is migraine, recurrent respiratory infections, hyperacidity, hair fall, facial black marks, arthritic conditions, ulcerative colitis, spondylitis, urinary stones. It's a huge list of diseases, speciality. Retinopathy, diabetic neuropathy, asthma, male and female infertility, heart diseases, chronic ulcers, etc., etc. And he also conducts comprehensive Garbhadhan Samskar from healthy conception to grown-up child for parents and child as a part of promotional health for strong and healthy progeny with character. He has published 4 research papers in international journals so far. And his achievements, Ayurvedic Vaidya Gaurav Puraskar by Sandhu Ayurvedic Pharmacy in 2017 on Ayurveda Day. And he received Best Consultant 2021 in Bhaktivedanta Hospital and Research Institute. And he has conducted training and awareness programs for various corporates like Oracle Software, Bombay Chamber of Commerce, Churchgate Police Academy, Airport Authority of India, schools, colleges, and universities. And he also conducts spiritual discourses for youth. And plus, he's having a cooking experience for last 20 years, up to 250 to 500 people on large scale and also on small scale. That's very exciting. So we are very, very happy to have Dr. Memane with us today. So wherever you are, please welcome him with a round of applause, and let us welcome Dr. Memane to our session here. And let's start with today's topic, diet and spirituality. So I have spotlighted Dr. Memane, and Dr. Memane will be also sharing a screen with you as the session goes. Thank you, Dr. Nanasaheb Memane.
Thank you, Gaurang, for your kind
Over to
gesture.
you.
Can everyone hear my voice?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we'll just directly start our session. I will share the screen. Are you able to see now?
Yes.
First slide. Full screen first slide.
You are saying I should do something here?
No. Can you see first slide full screen?
Yes, yes. Full, we can see, yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to check. So thank you everyone to be kind and present early in the morning for this session. As Gaurang Prabhu told once that, Prabhu, can you take this session, diet and spirituality? Then I felt I can do some part of this service. So I'm ready with some thoughts and some evidence-based experiences which are coming on day-to-day basis. So clear-cut spiritual connection, maybe we will need the help of Gaurang Priya Prabhu. But still, whatever small amount of experience last some years we are having, we will discuss about it. So we'll enter on the topic diet and spirituality, food in three modes as per Bhagavad Gita. As we know, everything is as according to Lord Krishna in 14th chapter and 17th chapter. He has actually categorized almost all the things into three parts: mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. Like tapasya in mode of goodness, then charity in mode of goodness, then speech in mode of goodness, mode of ignorance, and mode of passion. So everything comes under these three categories. Like in Ayurveda, there is Vata, Pitta, Kapha. All diseases comes in the three categories. Similarly, three modes of passion modes actually controls whole nature. Prakriti, uh, cre- uh, Prakriti controls the whole nature with the help of these three gunas. Prakriti kriyamana gunai karmani sarvasha. These three gunas. So we are also going to enter into that topic. As before entering that, because this is very much connected with spirituality, we should know the clear definition of health. As most of us know, according to WHO, World Health Organization, recently updated definition of health is a state of physical, emotional, social, and spiritual well-being. So they have added, after many years, they have added the spiritual word in definition. Now almost the definition is complete. And even in management world also, we are seeing that spiritual quotient is now considered as very much important thing. And as the definition goes from Ayurvedic point of view, that is Vedic point of view. Swastha is prasanna atma indri mana swastha iti abhidiyate. Samadosha samagnischa samadhatu malakriya prasanna atma indri mana swastha iti abhidiyate. The person whose waste management, whose dosha management, whose tissue management is balanced, that person is physically, mentally, and spiritually blissful. That is the sign of a healthy person. That means our target is also the person should be physically, mentally, and spiritually blissful or balanced. And that is the goal of Ayurveda. Once what happened in second age means first was Satya Yuga, there were no much diseases during that time because everyone had knowledge and also culture along with that. Presently also we have knowledge. In Kali Yuga also there is information technology. Knowledge is available all over. But along with knowledge, there is lack of culture. So that's why the exploitation of things is happening. But in Satya Yuga, it's reversible. The knowledge is there, but along with knowledge, there is culture, how to handle the knowledge. But after Satya Yuga ends, uh, lobha starts. Lobh, that is greed, accumulation of things. People develop tendency to accumulate the things. That's why the many sadhus come at the Himalaya just to meet and have some seminars. That time everyone was discussing about same point. They were saying that like the sadhus came from Balik Desh, Kankayan Desh, this Dravid Desh, and all different places all over the world, like from Russia, Europe, and America and India. All over the places, the sadhus came there and they discussed about the point that why common public is not interested in spirituality now. Their interest in spirituality, like doing vrata, vaikalya, and fasting and chanting God's name and meditating, things are being going down. The common public is not interested in why. So the point came that was that everyone is now suffering from some intestinal disease or obesity or metabolic disorders. So they say we have to resolve this issue. We have to keep our own sadhana aside, and first of all, we have to work for resolving the issue which common public is feeling. And then with one voice, they decided the senior person amongst them was Bharadwaj Rishi. And they requested Bharadwaj Rishi that, can you please go to Swarga and heaven and we know the Ayurveda is there with Indradev because Ayurveda is eternally present. Ayurveda is a knowledge of life. It is eternally present, but it was imparted from Brahmadev to Ashwini Kumar, Daksha Prajapati to Ashwini Kumar, and Ashwini Kumar told this knowledge to Indradev. And it was there with Indradev. So Bharadwaj Rishi became agree within no seconds, and he just departed for Swargaloka, and then he got this knowledge from Indradev. And after that, till then, all the sadhus, they were sitting and doing their meditation. And as soon as Bharadwaj Rishi came, he explained this knowledge to everyone, every sage. And all these sages went to respective places, and then they practiced and helped the common public so that they will achieve complete health, physical, social, mental, and spiritual health, and they can perform their spirituality. The point I want to talk is that Ayurveda is very, very much in line with God Krishna because God Krishna only has given these Vedas, and Ayurveda is a Upaved, that is a part of Atharva Ved. Atharva Ved is a Ved where there is knowledge of keeping health intact. So, as we see, all the sages also they work for Kalyan, Paropakaraya, the Kalyan of all people, and they try somehow or other try to engage them in spirituality. So, it is a multifaceted thing. Tasya Aisha Punyatama Veda Veda Vidamata Vashakriyan Manushyanam Lokayurvir means as we follow Ayurveda in our day-to-day life, that is Veda. Veda, we follow it in day-to-day life. It is beneficial in this lifetime and also next life. Means next life means wherever we go, Paraloka. Even if we go to Golok Vrindavan or spiritual world, for that the attitude and the capacity is developed during this life is beneficial in next life. As we know, I am not this body because most of you have understood the spiritual principles from Gaurang Priya Prabhu that we are not body, we are spirit soul. But the truth is that we are spirit soul, but the spirit soul is in the body. I have a body. And all the activities and even for example, listening the spiritual discourses, those are available to all the spirit souls, but we could able to listen as our body allow us. If we could not listen, suppose someone is dumb, deaf person, he cannot hear the discourses sweetly talked by all these sadhus because the services which we could offer from the point of view of spirituality or from the point of view of spirit soul, the medium is body. And that's why Charkacharya says, Shariram Adhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam. All the religious practices, all the achievements in the life, they could be very easily achieved if our body is healthy. Arogyam Moolam Uttamam, or the building block of our all achievement is Arogya, that is health. So as we know, if somebody has tuberculosis and if some guest come, very important guest comes in our house and we have tuberculosis, we cannot even offer a glass of water to that guest. So even sadhu comes, we cannot serve that sadhu if we are tuberculous person. So the point I want to make is that if we are unhealthy, we cannot even serve physically. Forget about a very concentrated way and very effective way we could do meditation and concentration on spiritual aspects. So health is the very most much important part in our life. As we know, Shivaji Maharaj, we see after 50 to 52 years, some people say he was died out of rheumatoid arthritis, but there is one thought process that he was given poison and due to gastroenteritis he was died. So point is very clear, as your body is healthy, you could serve the society in large and up to the limit of scar. But as body is not there, body is diseased, then all the service part is affected. So very important thing. Ahar sambhava mastu rogasya ahar sambhava. The body is formed of ahar and even diseases are formed of ahar. How? Because we see now when somebody dies, we say that Panchatattvat vilin zhale, means he has entered into Panchatattva's. Prithvi, Aap, Tej, Vayu, Akash. Panchamahabhutas. So similarly, our body is formed of Panchamahabhuta. The food is formed of Panchamahabhuta. Those Panchamahabhutas enter in the form of food in our body, nourishes our body, and in healthy quality, if they enter in our body, they keep our health intact. But if we eat unhealthy Panchamahabhutas, then that same ahar causes diseases. So disease and health both are brother and sisters. So the point sometimes people ask, are in Ayurveda or in Vedic traditional lifestyle, many things are forbidden. Many things are forbidden. It is only bitter things. Bitter things will be allowed to eat. But it's not the thing. Charak Samhita and Sushruta Samhita, they say that there is no substance in the world which cannot be used for medicinal purpose. Everything can be used as medicinal purpose. Nasti dravyam anaushadham. There is no single substance which is cannot be used as aushadh. So only yojakas tatra durlabha, we have to have that expert person who will guide us as per the place, time, and circumstances, and we have to be vigilant about it, because whimsically we cannot follow this principle that everything is medicine. We have to have proper knowledge, because that's why in our tradition, in Indian tradition, kitchen was kept in a lock. Lock was there for kitchen, and the main observation was done by the senior most lady in the house. She used to allow that person who has good knowledge of cooking into the kitchen. Otherwise, no whimsical kitchen cooking was allowed in our kitchen in traditionally in India. So this was the reason, because no one, everyone who want to enter into the kitchen has to have knowledge of the substances which he is going to use for cooking. So this principle, why? Because it is very relevant for us, because I have experience of this principle last 15-16 years. Pathe sati gadartha se kim aushadha nishayam nahi, pathe asati gadartha se kim aushadha nishayam nahi. Means many children, they actually come to OPD of allopathy people, and for recurrent respiratory infection, especially in Mumbai, recurrent respiratory infection is very high. And if the children come to the doctor gives, as usual, regular medicines like antibiotics, sometimes required when fever is there, if disease is very powerful. Otherwise, some bronchodilators and even local steroids or internal steroid, they have to give. But even after giving this medicine, the cycle continues. After 1 or 2 months, again, the patient gets infection. So here very clearly explained, that process is very clearly explained, because pathe sati gadartasya kim aushadha nishayam nahi. With one person who is diseased, but he doesn't follow the diet and lifestyle which is required for that condition, then what is the use of medicine? Because the causes are still going inside. As medicines are stopped, after some time the disease will again come up. But the person, now we just have been in Uttarakhand, we just came, and I was just asking the driver, how was the COVID situation in Uttarakhand, and how are the heart attacks in Uttarakhand? So that time it was very much surprising, and it was expected also. According to our knowledge, it is expected. The children over there, they go for school crossing 5 to 10 kilometers a day. So the child who walks 5 to 10 kilometers in this mountain area, there are hardly any chance of getting his immunity low, because your exercise is naturally done, your food is also very natural, and there we could see even today the vegetables grown in Uttarakhand are almost 90 to 95% organic vegetables. There is no chemical entry in those areas, and you could see the difference of taste of the food which is there in Uttarakhand and in our area. We have chemically induced sabjis and vegetables. So he said, hardly there one get heart attack. See, no heart attack. Very rarely someone gets one in one village like that. And COVID in Uttarakhand local public, almost no one got the infection. Why? Because the air and the food quality and the exercise, that is natural pathya, pathaya hitam, the natural, very beneficial dietary lifestyle and modification. These people are naturally following, because our tradition in India, actually, this pathya was being followed very, very strictly, but it's with happiness. You could see the happiness also on these faces of Uttarakhand people. So point I want to make is that if your diet lifestyle is very good, there is no need of medicine for even you are 20 years old, 30 years old. Forget about like children taking bronchodilators and antibiotics. So same cases we have discussed many times now. This is very interesting case which was sent by pediatrician to me. Why I want to mention many cases of this, because I just want to make a point that how Sattva-guni food, because we are going to see the effect of Sattva-gun, Rajagun and Tamagun on our health, and ultimately we have seen that our health decides your practices, spiritual practices, and when you are sadhaka. When you cross that level, then there is no need of any health or whatever thing. It is irrelevant then. But we are now sadhak level. We are just now newly practicing people. We need that health. So this girl actually, within 3 months, she got 3 times pneumonia. Can you imagine? In 2018, she got this 3 times pneumonia. 7 to 8 years old girl. First, she developed bacterial pneumonia, then she developed viral pneumonia, and then developed fungal pneumonia. So the pediatrician actually called me and he said, Dr. Memane, can you help her? Because we are being tired of giving medicines and admitting her 3 times in hospital, and still she is having breathing difficulties. She could not sleep at night, and even oral steroids are there. Steroid puff is there, and even we are like tired of giving very highest antibiotics. Then we said, okay, let her come to our OPD. Then I took the history and I found out that she has very big problem of not following good diet. Why? Because she is a Christian girl, and as we know, their food is little bit Rajo and Tamoguni food. Non-veg is there daily. So it took me 45 minutes to convince her that you need to follow this type of diet. Which type of diet? Diet in mode of goodness. I did not tell her that this is diet in mode of goodness, but the diet which is beneficial as per our acharyas for coming out of the disease. That is naturally the diet in mode of goodness. And you would be surprised, the girl who was getting infection every month and these 3 types of pneumonia, after 2018 till today, she has only once got infection in January 2021. And fortunately, she is following vegetarian diet. Now, vegetarian diet, and her weight also improved. Her health also improved. Her hyperactivity gone down, because due to disease she was having, that hyperactivity gone down. Mental and physical level, you could see clear-cut balance in her life. So that's the point I want to mention, is that the things which we are going to discuss, the 3 gunas. So Sattva, Raja and Tamas, they have effect on the Panchamabhuta, physical effect. So as we saw that our body is also formed of Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jala and Prithvi. And similarly, food is also formed of Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jala and Prithvi. The dominance of any Panchamabhuta element decides the quality of that substance. So we could see Akash Mahabhut. Naturally, Akash is Sattva Pradhan. Sattva Pradhan. Sattva, the mode of goodness is there in Akash Mahabhut. Like any food substance which is very lighter to digest. Naturally, it is Sattva Pradhan. That is mode of goodness. Vayu is lighter, but Vayu has mode of passion inside. Chala, Gati. Whenever there is movement or dynamics, the Rajogun is involved. So the food substance which has tendency to increase Vayu increases Rajogun inside, the Chala Gun. Agni Pradhan, that is like black pepper, Agni Pradhan. And even chili, Agni Pradhan. See, the Agni is consisting of Sattvas and Rajas both together. The food which is juicy, Jala Mahapradhan, liquid, It is Sattva Pradhan and Tama Pradhan. If you drink proper quantity water, it will increase mode of goodness. And if we drink more than you quantity which we required, it will increase tamogul inside. And put the very heavy substances naturally increase tamas, that is mode of ignorance. So what is this mode of goodness, ignorance, and passion? Food. As we see, there are 6 tastes in our food. Madhura, Amla, Lavan, Katu, Tikta, Kasha. That is sour, sweet, bitter, astringent, pungent, and salty. So every taste has dominance of Mahabhut. That decides the quality of goodness or passion or ignorance. So Vayu and Akash Mahabhut is there in Tiktaras, that is uh, bitter. That is bitter. Katu is pungent. Kasha is astringent. Amla is sour. Lavan is salt, and Madhur is sweet. So Karela and Kartoli, they comes in category of Vayu Akash. So one more point, we will just touch this point. Only proteins and fat multivitamins sufficient to know, because we see from childhood, since second or third class till PhD, our scientific students, they learn about vitamins, minerals, fats, and proteins, and they go with that knowledge. So I have many patients who are PhD or double PhDs. As they leave clinic, that time they are some of them are humbled. They say, sir, we are humbled because we have taken 2 degrees, double PhDs, but we did not know the type of knowledge about food which is there in our culture and tradition. So we are unfortunate for that. So see, then we could see that only knowing proteins, fat, multivitamins is not sufficient. Why? Because we have to have the proteins in mode of goodness, proteins in mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. We have to have that knowledge. The like proteins from milk, they are in mode of goodness. Protein from paneer, mode of ignorance or mode of passion. Protein from non-vegetarian food, they also give protein, but that is mode of ignorant proteins. So we have to see these subtleties for the food. So everything can be seen. The fat in mode of goodness is ghee. Fat in mode of passion is oil. Fat in mode of ignorance is vasa, that is non-veg. Multivitamin is also same thing. We have to see what type of protein, fat, and multivitamin we are eating. Is it in mode of goodness or is it in mode of passion? Is it in mode of ignorance? So these are 3 gunas. Sattvagun, as we know, positive, pure, pleasure, divine. And Rajas gun, controlling, it is mixed. And selfish desires and human. Self-oriented is Rajagun. And Tamas is actually destructive, giving pain to others, especially. So we will see what is food in mode of goodness. Ayusato Balarogya Sukha Priti Vivardhana Rasya Snigdha Stira Rudya Ahara Satvika Priya. Lord Krishna says to Arjuna that Arjun, see the differentiation between Rajagun, Tamagun, and Sattvagun food is that Sattva-guni food, here we will stress little bit more because it clears our aim of spirituality. As you see, Ayuhu Sattva Bala Arogya. Ayu means the duration of life. Everyone is interested in increasing the duration of life because it's obvious human life is very rare, and if we got human life, then it's our duty to at least live for 80 to 100 years, because this is the time which we could perfect our life and achieve spirituality and many other things like serving socially and serving spiritually. For that purpose, we need to have good duration of life, but that duration of life not with like ventilator is on and some tube is put it into your neck and some 2-3 servants are there to serve you as a nurse. Not like that. We need healthy long duration of life. So everyone need good life, that is Ayu. Sattva. Sattva is the mental ability, purified mind. Your thought process should be purified because it is helpful for you and society at the same time. And not only for that, it has seeds for happiness feeling. If your mind is purified, the feeling of happiness is very much high. So the sattva-guni food, naturally, the result of sattva-guni food is long life with health. Your mind is purified. Bala arogya, bala in strength. Your strength is increased as you eat sattva-guni food. And arogya also, of course, as your strength increases, immunity goes up and your health index is high. You remain healthy. And the person who is healthy, strong physically, and whose mind is purified, that person naturally is happy. So you can see the happiness lies in different area. As I give example many times, that if we eat gulab jamun, one gulab jamun, two gulab jamun, so we feel happy. So when I was in second year of Ayurveda course, that time we had these programs like feast once in a year. So all the students actually, they used to eat, take good pleasure in eating this feast. As you know, you must be having same experience. So that day, second year, that day, what happened? They have kept gulab jamun as a sweet, and there was one colleague of mine, and both of us uh, started competition of eating the gulab jamun. So I started eating, he also started eating. So I ate 5 gulab jamun, then 10 gulab jamun, then 15 gulab jamun. Can you imagine? I ate 20 gulab jamun. He also ate 20 gulab jamun. And it increased up to 28. I finished 28 gulab jamun, then I stopped. I said, that's enough. Now I will not try to win. And that guy, he started eating, and he ate 42nd gulab jamun, 42nd. And after that, immediately he started vomiting out. Immediately. Projectile vomiting, like the vomiting comes out 2-3 feet ahead of his area. And the point I want to mention here, that initially eating 5 to 10 gulab jamun, I was feeling very, very happy because I like the taste of juice of gulab jamun 20 years back. And after that, as gulab jamun passed the limit, 20, 21, 22, 23, I felt like I will vomit now. So the same gulab jamun was not giving me that happiness which was given by 5 to 6 gulab jamun initially. So you see, the site of happiness is not gulab jamun or its juice. The happiness lies in different area. At same time, there were girls and boys. They were very happy with eating with 2 to 3 gulab jamun. Why? Because the mental condition. When you are driven by competition or some other rajogun, that time the happiness is affected. So I was driven by that, showing others ki I can eat many gulab jamun. That is passion. That passion actually takes away your happiness. So that's what Krishna is explaining. Happiness lies in mode of goodness, not in mode of passion or mode of ignorance. And only happy person can share happiness to others. And he can be satisfied. Happy person can be satisfied because his mind is purified. And satisfied and happy person can share love to the society. See, Krishna says, Bal arogya sukha priti vivardhana. The person who experiences happiness and satisfaction, that person only can share priti, that is love, to others, and he can serve effectively. That's why our whole tradition, since millions of years, all the sadhus, they were eating only food in mode of goodness. And they were the people who were working towards the kalyan, means benefit for society at large. So this is very important thing. And what is that type of food? That is rasya snigdha sthira rudya. Rasya means juicy. Rasya is rasaya hitam. Rasaya hitam means it gives you tasty feeling. As I told you initially, that people consider that Ayurvedic food means only bitter and tikha, or bitter and bitter. Not like that. It is very juicy and sweet, tasty. We need to have the capacity to cook that food. So juicy food, In fruits, you can see mango, muskmelon, fig, raisins, papaya, pomegranate, sweet lime, chiku. These things actually comes in mode of goodness. Vegetables, bottle gourd, sponge gourd, bitter gourd, rich gourd. They are tasty, they are juicy, they come in category of mode of goodness. Even snigdhata, as we explained, lubricant. As there is a blood-brain barrier in our ethmoidal plate in our face that allows certain substances into brain. Our brain requires certain nutrition, but not all the substances which we eat enter into the brain. There are certain substances out of which is one snigdha dravya, that is lubrication, lipids. The most healthy lipid for brain is cow ghee. As we know, cow ghee has not only physical effect, it has subtle effect also. So compassion is developed if we eat the Indian cow ghee daily. Compassion. So compassion is the quality which is the result of eating cow ghee. Can you imagine this? How is this possible? So snigdhata has two meaning. One is lubrication and other meaning is warmth. Warmth. So that cow ghee, it enters into the brain, and the brain there is the dryness is taken care, and as dryness also has two meaning. Dryness is dryness in your joints and your muscles and your physical aspect, and dryness in your mind. So when somebody is dry in mind, that person doesn't have affinity towards others. And as his mind becomes lubricative, that is warmful mind, it is loving mind to others. That's why Kshiram Dadi Ghritashanam is the first instruction for all the brahmachari, sannyasi, and all the sadhakas according to Charak Acharya. Charak Acharya say one who wants to serve society or spirituality, that person is mandatory to, he has to eat Kshiram Dadi Ghritashanam. Kshir means dahi, doodh, kheer, dahi, and grit, that is ghee. Because as we know, here I again want to mention one thing. There is one cult now, they are propagating this cult. They are only telling people to eat only vegetables. And we are, of course, as Indian, we are very much pro to vegetables only, Shakahari Ahar. But our food, traditional food is very complete. Why? Because this vegetarian along with animal fat. Why it is required? I told you, because blood-brain barrier, it crosses the lipid animal fat, which nourishes the brain. But this animal fat is in mode of goodness that generates compassion. But if we eat lipid, same, it is present in the non-vegetarian food that enters into the brain, nourishes the brain, and it increases the quality of arrogance and exploitation. See, very subtle thing. And the people who doesn't eat even this thing and that thing, their brain starts shrinking. So in Ayurveda, they have told clearly, if you don't eat snigdha padartha, your brain starts becoming atrophied. And now recently, the research is also happening similarly. Last 8 to 10 years, they have seen the people who are only eating only vegetables, no cow milk, cow ghee, and cow butter. These people, they are suffering from this atrophy of brain atrophy and muscular dryness and joint dryness, and looking very slim, but old aged slim person. And as we know, even you can relate with, because I am observing this last 2-3 years, as Virat Kohli also have started eating vegetarian food only, but he has stopped. I am sure he has stopped even eating cow ghee, milk, and butter also. Dairy products, they call it as dairy products. He has stopped that. But you can see the sthirta, as mentioned in Rasya Snigdha, sthira. Sthir quality, that is stable quality, is the product of Satoguni food, that is the Snigdha Dravya. But he has stopped that, and you can see the stable reflex. You need only 0.3 second reflex for your activity to perform. that person is suffering since last 2 years. His reflex has gone down, stability has gone down. His body is looking very slim and it because the result of vegetable food, but he is not eating the snigdha padartha. That is very important thing. Previously, he was non-vegetarian. Now he is vegetarian only, but he's not eating cow dairy products. Sthira, as we saw the stability is very much required for consistency, and that consistency mentally and physically we need sthir substances. These substances are wheat, rice, jawar, bajra, barley, and the grains actually. These are the sthir substances. Hridya. So hridya means hridayaya hitam. It is palatable. We feel very good after satisfied after eating this type of food. So rajoguni food, the food in mode of passion is katu amla lavan ati ushta ruksha tikshna vidayana. The food that are too much pungent, too much sour, too salty, sharp, dry, and hot are liked by the people who are in mode of passion. Now here 2 points are there. One is one who likes this type of food, he is more in person in mode of passion, and one who is in mode of goodness but eats this type of food. Because I explained you, many children come to me and I find out that these children, they are in mode of goodness and they are provided food in mode of passion. So there is energy pool, and this food in mode of passion entered into mode of goodness person pulls him down and he starts getting diseases related to his prana, that is the respiratory tract. So this is very important to understand. If food in mode of goodness is eaten by all the people, Rajoguni, Tamoguni, Satoguni people, it will definitely give health to everyone. But if food in mode of goodness, mode of passion is eaten by food in person in mode of goodness, that person becomes diseased. So at this point, we want to keep in mind, and such food naturally gives us disaster in the form of pain, distress, and disease. As just 10 days back, one family came, and just she was also sent like some allopathy friend. So she was advised to follow the diet, and that baby, that child, she got experience of, after many years, she got experience of getting very good breathing. And so she what even she did in school, they celebrate birthdays. So while celebrating birthdays, they have cakes and some chocolates are there. So this child got so much convinced with the way of treatment and for following the diet. She used to bring cake and chocolates back to the home and give it to the mama. Mama, I bought this and you please take. And the child got this much strength in his mind that he has stopped doing all this. And he got relieved also. But one day he just went in one party and he just had cheese and this sizzler, cheese and burger. And 3 days, after 3 days, came to me as cold and cough with fever. But thank God, after some time, within 2 days, she was successfully managed with Ayurvedic point of view only. But the point I want to mention is that the food which is in mode of passion, it has natural affinity to give you pain, disease, and distress. What Krishna says. So the question must be arising. Kisi, now tamarind is shown here and pickle is shown here. So that means we have to stop all this type of food. Then what to eat? So these questions will be answered after in our session only. There is a presentation ahead. These are some type of passionate food, as we say, ruksha tikshna, which is very sharp. You feel like the vapors are coming out of your ears and nose, runny nose and watering of eyes and watering of mouth also. So there are certain diseases which are there if we eat. Dominantly, we eat mode of passion food. So piles, pimples, hyperacidity, skin ailments, arthritis, early old age. See, the points look very simple, but they are very indicative. wrinkles, less stamina, insomnia, metabolic disorders, and unsatisfied mind. And some of you must have seen Sher Shivraj. Recently, Sher Shivraj and then film is there, and there they have shown that Lord Shiva, King Shivaji has Shivaji Maharaj has utilized this knowledge to kill Afzal Khan. They understood personality knowledge at the same time diet knowledge. This Pitta Pradhan person is person in mode of passion and diet. So he ordered one of his assistants that please make sure that this person eats the food which contains more chili, the food in mode of passion. So the food in mode of passion went to a person in mode of passion, increased rage and arrogance and heat in that person. And it destroyed the balance of that person. You see, and the person in he very beautifully, Shivaji Maharaj has done that. And as a Pitta Pradhan personality, if they are glorified and they are shown that I am afraid of you, then these people become very much puffed up. All these factors they have taken care, mode of passion person and mode of food in mode of passion. So in fact, that was used in this way to protect dharma only. But we should know, this is suffice to know that if we eat dominantly mode of passion food, always paneer and all those things, then these are the results which we are going to reap. Now, food in mode of passion, ignorance, that is, yat yamam, yata yamam gatarasam buddhi parushitam chiyat. Now, there are certain things which will highlight this. Yata yama means ideally it is 3 hours. Krishna says that within 3 hours, food starts decaying. So, if it is cooked properly, we can consider like once cooked food can be used till afternoon. After that, it should not be used at evening because very good example in my life as I entered into BAMS and I did second year of BAMS that time. I came to know that my mother, she used to have headache for 20 years, last 20 years, like for 40 years from today. Last 20 years, she was having headache. She stays in village and she was taking daily some Crocin Rantac. She used to need to take that medicine. And then as I came and I understood that stale food is causing her migraine. Then I just told her, ki, Akka, you stop this eating stale food because leftover bhakri. In village, in Maharashtra village, we make bhakri. That time, used to make bhakris, bajre ka bhakri. And early in the morning, she used to eat that stale bhakri because all the children should be eating fresh food and the ladies, especially mother, they eat stale food. So I stopped her stale food and you'll be surprised, last 20 years, migraine was stopped just by one act. Stopping the food which was over 6 hours. So we need to understand this tamoguni food. Why we should not eat that? Uchishtam. Also, here I want to mention is that see, we have very big fashion presently in young generation that they share their ice cream and their foodstuffs. Sharing is not problem, but sharing your leftover is a problem. So same ice cream is eaten by some other person and you are eating some. Uchishtam chapi chamedam. Krishna says this type of food is amedyam. Amedyam means your intelligence is lost. So intelligence is lost. So, and as we know in spiritual world also, there are certain things in spiritual world are exactly opposite in this material world. So the remnants of Lord, they are like prasad. We encourage and we appreciate that at highest level. But the remnants of human beings or other animals, they are not prasad. They are actually toxic to us. You also can see, I have seen many times my child, when we give tiffin to the school, and from coming to the school, they eat half of the tiffin and half tiffin just come. And same sabji which was made in morning, half of the sabji is at home, which is in a different pot, and half sabji is given to child and he has eaten half and brought back half. Now we could see the stinky smell which is there in the tiffin and the sabji which is there in different pot which is not touched by any person. There is clear cut difference of the consistency, smell of that sabji because The bacteria and viruses which are there in our mouth are different than the other person. So they are very easily given to that person, shared to that person. Physically, grossly, bacteria, viruses are there. One subtle effect is that your intelligence is lost. Discrimination power between good and bad is reduced after eating this tamoguni food. As we saw, we have seen in 14th chapter, tamogun is the cause for destruction and pain for others. So tamogun results in certain types of diseases: laziness, obesity, lethargy, cholesterol blockages, fungal infections, stiff joints, sticky motion, drowsiness, lack of concentration, and alertness. So as Krishna says, within the human body, in Sattva, if wisdom is born, grows well, then know that Sattva has developed itself. Arjuna, when Rajogun is enhancing itself in the body, the quality of greed, increasing interest in worldly affairs, increase of karmas, restlessness and desires all born in that body. And when Tamagun is increased, ignorance, lack of interest, carelessness and delusions take roots in us. That's why we want to have at least Sattva Gun and go beyond Sattva Gun. So I don't think how much time we have crossed Sat service. We have half an hour, huh, Prabhu? Some point is remained, so we'll discuss about it. So as we see, you saw tamarind and pickle, and that time the questions were arising. Are he has told many things to stop now. What should we do? So there are again some subtle factors which work on this mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So I will give example. Previously also I explained that if you drink water as per your thirst, it is mode of goodness. If you drink same water beyond your thirst, is mode of passion or ignorance. Why? Because water has the quality of Sattva and Tamagun together. But Sattva work when you need the water, thirst. And Tamagun will work when you eat more than your necessity. That means same food can give rise to Tamagun or Rajogun or Sattva. So how it can happen, we'll see. There are 8 factors which decide the quality of food, whether it is going to be Sattva mode of goodness food or mode of passion food. So Prakriti decides the mode that as we saw, Agni contains Sattva and Jala contains Sattva and Tama. This is Prakriti. Like black pepper, by nature black pepper is Sattva spice. Spice in mode of goodness. It will not raise your Rajogun when given black pepper as per the quantity required. Huh? This is very important to understand. Lanka is red mirch. Red mirch, if eaten in large quantity, it will definitely increase your mode of passion. And even Vat Pitta Kapha personality. The personalities, as I told you, Afzal Khan. So the person who is in mode of Kapha Pradhan person, Vata Pradhan person, and Pitta Pradhan person. The person is dominated by certain qualities. The quantity of food or quality of food eaten by that person will decide the outcome as mode of goodness or mode of passion. Like if Kapha Pradhan personality eats little bit Lanka, it will not increase passion inside, it will increase Sattva inside. But if Patta Pradhan person eats Lanka, that is red chili, then his Rajogun mode of passion is going to be increased. And if Vata Pradhan person eats chili, his Rajogun is going to be at highest level. So these things which we have to understand, there are certain qualities of food, they are called as Prakriti. The Swabhav, that is nature, cannot be changed of any food. That nature, eaten by different nature of personalities, will decide the fate of the food. Karan is the sanskar. How we make that substance? Just boil or fry or filter or add some other or do some only roast or put some water inside and keep it for some time. Like there are fant in Ayurveda, there are panak. Some people keep like imli, tamarind is kept in water for some time. After that, just taken out the tamarind and eat that brownish liquid, which is very tasty. So that is only kept in jala, that is water, and the preparation is done like vayu, processing in air. So there are certain sanskar, that is the filtration or impression giving processes. This process actually changes the quality of the food. It's like chana eaten raw is very heavy, but if chana is boiled and then eaten, then it becomes lighter. So that we have to understand. So sanskarohi gunanta radhanam uchyate. The sanskar actually changes the quality of the food. Even Rajoguni food can be changed to Satvaguni food with the help of modification procedures. But those modification procedures are mentioned scientifically in our tradition. They are not whimsical. We have to keep this in mind. This Puran Poli atta, Puran Poli, they make Puran Poli. There are two types of atta. One is direct stenting that atta with 150 mesh filter. But the traditional ladies, they filter the wheat flour with the help of cloth that is even very ultra minute particles. It allows very ultra minute particles, and that atta is very good for Puran Puli. If you eat that Puran Puli, then the taste is little different. It is Satvaguni, towards Satvaguni. Even water also, if we boil the water, Satvaguni is increased, mode of goodness is increased in that water. It becomes lighter to digest. And same thing, if we boil the milk, then Tamogun is increased because the water boiling, it becomes lighter, and boiling milk, it becomes heavier. So same boiling process is there, but it increases Satvaguna in Jala, that is water, and increases Tamoguna in milk. Sanyog, what is combined with the thing decides the fate of the combination. Like if you eat curd alone, it will increase Tamogun inside. If you eat curd along with adding some water, black pepper, ginger, and rock salt, it will reduce your piles also. It will increase the mycobacterial flora inside your body without disturbing the systems. Otherwise, if you eat only curd, then you will get constipation, then your piles will increase after eating curd. So alone curd will increase your piles. And if we process that with combining with certain food items, it will reduce your piles. Even chola bhatura, you would see while making chola and bhatura, while making the dough of bhatura, even it is maida. Maida increases vayu, that is joint pain and arthritis. But if it is mixed with curd, then that bhatura becomes very acceptable and adaptable to the body. And even chana increases rajogun inside. If we put curd in that while making chole, then the chola bhatura is very good plate during winter for those people who are staying in upside area where the temperature is very cool. So that decides. Rashi, Rashi is the quantity. Same substance which is like rasya snigdha stira rudya ahara satika priya. The tasty sweet food is Satoguni food. So people eat kheer like 2, 3, 4, 5 bowls. So if you eat 5 bowls of kheer, then that same kheer which was Satoguni as per Krishna, it becomes Tamoguni for us. Because the Rashi quantity, the quantity which we have taken is very high. So Pramitashan, Mitashan, Atiashan means eating in large quantity. And like see this puff rice. Puff rice is as per Akash Mahabhut, it is very lighter to digest. It is mode of goodness. But that puff rice is eaten like very high, like 1 or 2 kilo. It is eaten 1 or 2 kilo. Then it will give increase even ignorance inside. Tamogun will be increased. The quantity decides also. The food quality is Satoguni, but if we eat in more quantity, large quantity, then it will decide the fate as mode of ignorance. Desh, the country which you are staying in, area which you are staying in. Like we are staying in Mumbai and eating the food which is eating the fruits which are grown in China or grown in America. So this type of food, even though it is in mode of goodness for those areas, juicy for those areas, that may hamper our digestion, act as tamoguni for our areas. Because our area doesn't allow to grow apples and this dragon fruit. So you can once in a while, like once in 15 days or 30 days, you can eat definitely. But daily you cannot eat the fruit which is grown in different areas, which is very far, thousands of kilometers than you, and you are eating same substance here. No. So there are three types of desh, that is different types of habitat. Jungle, Anup and Sadharan, where too much rain is there, that is called as Anup desh. When there is medium range of rain is there, that is called as Sadharan, Nasik, Pune. And when there is less rain, that is called as Aurangabad and Marathwada or Vidarbha. So the food quality required there, food quantity required there is very different. And that decides the fate of the food in mode of goodness or passion, ignorance. So even as we see in during winter season, when there is cool temperature, that time also we eat very sweet substances like laddu, puri, gulab jamun. But same substance, if you eat in May, summer season, you will see you will get indigestion. You will feel very heavy at stomach. And heaviness at stomach is mode of ignorance. Heavy or light, as I explained you. If you eat one peda, that is very good. If you eat 10 pedas, then it will increase the movement. And pickle also, if you eat small amount of pickle, because we need all the six tastes. As we know, we need tamogun also. While sleeping, people come to me, even the spiritual practitioners, they come to me and they say that, sir, I can't sleep. I don't get sleep at night. If you don't get sleep at night properly, you cannot concentrate on your spiritual sadhana. So for you, there is tamogun required, which is natural for you at night for sleeping. So that means you need little bit tamoguni food, but the quantity should be very minimum. That's why our plate, which is the good plate, which contains all tastes of the food, but not like pickle is like sabji and sabji is like pickle, not like that. Sabji should be little high in quantity, pickle should be very small in quantity. Then the balance of the dosha, balance of the gunas is maintained. Like if you want to run, and for that running, you will need some passion inside. And for that passion, you need the substances which will give the passion. But those substances are also very controlled, and that should be vigilantly done. Heavy or light, these also there are substances. Cold cough, rainy season, fluid substances like this. Kal decides, also Kal decides the fate of the substance, food, whether it is tamoguni or, as I told you, during Diwali time, we eat very heavy substances. And as today only I can explain you, as we went in Uttarakhand where negative temperature was there, that time we used to have rajma 3 times a day. And as I left Uttarakhand, I came to Delhi, and in between there was a place where we ate rajma in afternoon. And that time temperature was 15 degree. And same rajma, within 2 hours, we went to Delhi, their temperature was 43 degree. And it took 1.5 days to digest that same rajma, which was eaten at 15 to 20 degree area. But after coming Mumbai, after 1 day, that rajma was digested. The point I want to mention is that the kala or the temperature season decides the fate of your digestive fire, whether it will make the food as mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. So in at the bank of the Ganges, I used to eat rajma, and within 3 hours I used to feel light and sattva. But here I ate rajma in 43 degree. I was feeling like tamoguni. I was feeling like very heavy in my abdomen. The frequency, Kal also denotes time, that is frequency. How many times you eat the food? 5 times, 6 times, or 4 times, or every 2 hours? Every 2 hours food, that will also decide the fate of the food. Even though you eat sattva food, every 2 hours, it will give the result as tamogun, that is mode of ignorance. Stages of life, you are eating like some people are shift duty people, like they are working at night. And if they eat night, then the fate of the food will be decided. So frequency, you are eating many times, or you are eating even after the food is not digested, you are still eating. That will give you mode of ignorance. Anashan, if you don't eat at all, some people have the habit of not eating, only eating at night, 10 o'clock, full meal. Then whole day they are not eating at all. This anashan is also giving you mode of ignorance. Stages of life decide, like child can eat 4, 5, 6 times. Because you see, when child is like 1 year old or 6 months old, he's always moving his hands and legs like this. So 24 hours the child is making exercise. When for that child, exercise increases the digestive fire, and your digestive fire is very high, that will decide to convert that food into a mode of goodness or passion. So that child eats food 4 5 times, still that is good for that child. But when you process the age, then you become middle aged, you need to have 3 times food. After the 40 years are crossed, then you can have 2 times food. And again, as you become old, you can reduce even 2 times food up to 1 time and have liquids 2 times. So we should be very clear that 2 times food is not good for everyone. For certain age of people, they can have 2 times food so that their goodness is maintained. If we eat 3 times that time, when our age is 50, crossed 50 years, and still we are eating 3 times, then the tendency to generate ignorance is high. Physically, we feel ignorant. That is, mode of ignorance is increased. So that we need to understand. Age-wise, the mode of ignorance and mode of passion and goodness are different. And again, the person, the upayokta is a person. What quality that person is, what personality is that whether he is sick or healthy or sedentary lifestyle is there, does he do exercise for 2 hours, 1 hour, 3 hours, like chana. When you soak chana in water and you allow it to sprout next day overnight, and only the person can eat that chana who has capacity or habit of doing exercise more than 1 hour or 2 hours. Then that chana will help his muscles to develop, increase the goodness inside, because chana has very good proteins. But for that, you need exercise. And that same exercise is fulfilled by the chana and the broken tissues. When your tissues are broken after exercise, they need proteins. But some now gyms instructor, they tell people to eat non-veg proteins and दूध केला साथ में खाओ, ऐसा चीज बताते. लेकिन we need to have chana if we do exercise more than 1 or 2 hours. Mental stability also decides what type of result will be there after eating the food. If someone has very sad news like demise of any near and near dear ones, if that person eats even sattva mode of food in mode of goodness, that person will have effect of mode of ignorance. So the mental status of the person also decides the fate of the food. And upayog samstha, there are certain rules of eating the food. Those rules also will decide the output of the food. So plate should be very right. Good is like silver plate or gold plate. It's not possible. Then we can have banana leaf or some neutral like steel plate also is okay. We can have even the plate made up of leaf, other this palash leaves. You can have that patta. So right plate is very required. Right place is required. That place should be very clean. It should be very cool place, calm place, peace. Like there is no quarrel, or there is no arguments and some quarrel, some voice is coming. It is very calm so that you can concentrate on Anna He Purna Brahma. In our culture, we consider food as the complete spirit, because it nourishes our body to take shelter of the God and spirituality. So we need to focus concentration with very peaceful mind and with grateful mind. And stable place, it should be stable, not more like that. It's not encouraged by our tradition and culture that to stand and eat. Eating while go is not allowed. You should sit calmly and eat the food. Right consciousness, as we know, Yajna Shishta Shanasanta Muchyante Sarvakil Visha means anything which is only for our sake, even though it is in mode of goodness, that affect the consciousness of us. That's why the food which we eat should be offered to the God. Peaceful and graceful eating, we should be grateful while eating. Tan mana bhunjita. They say that your mind and body should be fully concentrated while eating. Your mood should be very prayerful, grateful mood. Generally, we eat like in exploitative tendency. Generally, if some subji is salt is not there, then we just scold our wife or scold the person who is cooking. Okay, you don't even know how to put salt and this thing. So our mentality should not be like that. We should be grateful while honoring or while taking the food, and the food should be offered. And our consciousness, the person who serves the food, is very important. That's why you please remember, if you want to really progress in your life, please eat the food which is made by the people who are faithful. That is very important, because as an Ayurvedic doctor, I have seen uh, the Vish Kanya and all those things. So people may not be proactively give you the food which is with this thought that I want to give poison to this person. But the people unknowingly, they will make the food unknowingly, yeah, because they don't have the ability to cook nicely. They will make the food which is incompatible, not to be mixed together, but they will mix it like fruits and milk, and they will give it to you like that. So incompatible food which will act as a poison inside. That's why our very clear cut thought is that eat from the people who are faithful people, like mother, sister, pure-hearted person, like devotees, and the fulfilled person, one who serves the food. If that person has eaten in enough quantity, then he will not have his mind while distributing that food to you. So he will not be involved that whether I will get the food or not. I am very hungry. If I distribute all this food to these people, then what will happen with me? He is not serving in this thought. So in Jagannath Puri, generally all the pandas, they eat in large quantity, enough quantity, and then they offer that food to Lord. So these are certain things. Cooking process, if you use ghee for cooking, tadka, sauteing the food, it increases the mode of goodness, because ghee is in mode of goodness, lipid, and the oil is in mode of passion. So if we use more oil in cooking, then the food, even the substances are mode of goodness, but we saute the sabji with oil, then it gives mode of passion dominance in that sabji. So we have to keep the point in this. There are satoguni spices. The spices definitely can be used in sabjis, but these are the spices. You can take pick of this thing: cumin, ginger, pepper, clove, rock salt, ghee, cardamom, and coriander for sauteing the sabji. This will naturally give mode of goodness result. And there are certain ingredients which, whenever you are in India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, America, wherever country you are, daily consumables are these substances. You could definitely get rice, moong dal, rock salt, amla, barley, rainwater, milk, and honey. These are the substances can be taken every day by everyone at any level, at any age. So we saw food in mode of three modes. Now there is one point, food in mode of beyond three modes of nature. That is yadne shishtasana santo muchyante sarva kilbishaihi muchyante to agam papa ye pachanti atmakara. Krishna says the person who eats the food which is made in mood of goodness or passion or ignorance, if he make that cook that food for himself only, that person eats agham papaha, very heavy sin. As we know, once some person came and told Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, I am vegetarian. Prabhupada said, oh, I left eggs and non-vegetarian food. Prabhupada said, yeah, but monkeys are also vegetarian. So what is the difference between you and monkey? So there is difference. Krishna explains actually this. One who cooks for himself, he eats actually papa. That is, you see, potentially every seed has life inside. When we cook the seed, then the life is gone. And so that potentially that seed could have given birth to more 40 to 50 new seeds who has ability to grow one big trees each. But we have stopped that process and killed that seed and make flour out of it and make chapati out of it. So even vegetarian food has sins involved in it. That's why Krishna says, if you cook for yourself, then all these sins will catch you. and you are eating ghor pap, agam papa. So what should I do then? Krishna says, then patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. What you should do, you take all the fruits, phaal and grains and water, mix together as per told by my knowledge. Means our tradition, like chola bhatura banana hai to aisa banao. And if you want to make chapati like this, there are the Veda, it is mentioned, the chapati, sabji, dal, rice, all these are not automatically made. They are all traditionally, scientifically, correctly made in our country because they are the tradition. They are the Krishna has guided us in the form of Vedas how to make chapati, sabji, dal, rice, and he said, "Ki make these items of vegetarian food, then offer it to me." क्या बोलते हैं पत्रम पुष्पम फलम तो यम योमे भक्त्या प्रयच्छति means that person who gives those food to me, we have to offer him considering as a person, keep it in plate, offer that naivedya to the god, and keep some time, become silent and pray to the god, please god, this is our offering, which may be with full of whatever things which you require, maybe some limitations are there, but you please accept our devotion, our love, and please take this food for you. Prayachati, Krishna prayachati prakarshena yachati. Visheshatah, he just gives specially for me, cook for me, and give it to me. Then ka tad aham bhakti uparutam ashnami prayatatmana. Krishna says that person's devotion, I accept that devotion, and I, along with that, I accept the sins inculcated while making that food, while making chapati, sabji. The souls are killed. That sins I accept, and then the remnants are prasadaha. Bhakti upratam ashnami prayatatmana. I personally come, I accept all those things, and I give it back as a prasad. Then prasade sarva dukkhanam hani asya upajayate. Then when you eat prasad, then all the distress and unhappiness and all the pains are gone. Means we are established at the spiritual level. That's why that food is called as food beyond three modes of nature. That is transcendental food. Prasad. The best food is the remnants of what is offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Lord says that he accepts preparations of vegetables, flour, milk when offered with devotion. Very important thing. But it is also mentioned that the prasadam should be prepared in a particular way. That is also very important. We cannot whimsically make the food items. So we should keep this in mind. Any food prepared by the injunctions of the scripture offered to the Lord can be taken even if prepared long ago. So I have shown you laddu, Tirupati laddu. We eat even it is 30 days back laddu. Yata yamam gata rasam. But if that is made beyond certain things also can be eaten. There are called as pakwa anna. Pakwa anna can be kept for 7 to 9 days that can be eaten because the food is transcendental. So therefore, to make food antiseptic, eatable, and palatable for all persons, one should offer food to the Supreme Personality of Godhead with devotion. So this is it for today. Only one thing I will end with one story. So some of you may feel that some things are quite theoretical, but I will share this story which is very happened with our life, means our family life. So there is a place in Maharashtra, that is Nandur Madhyameshwar, where Lord Ram killed Marich, and that marriage failed at the place in the bank of the Godavari. That place is there. This place, it is the place of my sister, Jagannath Baldev Sudara is there. So there was the sister, she is a farmer. So in her farm, some ladies come to work as a worker. And while out of one was the lady who is like Bhilla Samaj. You know, Bhilla Samaj is the very downtrodden Samaj. And they are, till today, they are eating sparrows and the birds. And they wear very small clothes. They don't have money to wear the clothes. And these people, they have they have the business like making Deshi Daru. They make alcohol, country alcohol, with the help of Nausagar, that is NH4Cl and water and jaggery. So this person, and what they do, they make themselves, and they are 24 hours in the intoxication of this Deshida. So this Nanda, this my sister, actually, she used to tell stories of Lord Krishna and Prasad to all the ladies who used to come to her farm as a worker. And this lady, Bhilla lady, she also used to come. And then she got interested in that, and she stopped eating machli, that is fishes and birds. She stopped eating non-vegetarian, and then she expressed herself that, Nanda, I want to tell you something. And she said, what? She said, "Well, I have stopped non-vegetarian, but my husband, when he come to know, he will be beating to me. He will be very unhappy with this." My sister said, don't worry, what you do, you just cook the food, offer to the Lord, and give it to him. She said, so we eat no onion, garlic, and non-vegetarian also we have to make for him. She said, no, you make rice, you have milk, and you have water. So offer this rice, water, and milk to God, and pray to the God that please work through this prasad so that my husband will stop drinking the alcohol. This is a true story. And then the lady started doing this without his knowledge. She was just offering to the Lord milk, water, and rice. And she used to give him along with all those food, onion, garlic food, and those. And utter surprise, within some months, that person stopped drinking alcohol and forget about stopping alcohol. He stopped making alcohol. Now that person, their small girl is there, see, and that lady, three of them are chanting God's name, and they have accepted the life for goodness. So even Bhilla personalities, because they are quite difficult to this thing, but they are also, we have also seen the effect of this prasad working at this stage of the life. So prasad is very powerful, which definitely we can use in our life, and we can gradually go up to the stage of this. But before that, we need to have food in mode of goodness that will naturally give us the next step in our life. Thank you. So take home message is that target pass. You can just keep this in mind. Time of meal, as I told you, as per age it changes. Generally middle age, you can have 2 times, 9 to 11, 5 to 7. And other small children, they can have 3, 4 times, and old people 2 to 1 time. Age proof meal, as this is only explains that. And how many times food, time of meal means how many times, that also frequency is not much encouraged. Rutu Charya, eat as per the season. As I explained you, in winter season, we eat laddu, gulab jamun, jalebi, and the fried things, which doesn't affect much. But if eaten in summer season, they affect us. Goodness food, food in mode of goodness is, of course, is our topic. Excellent cook, it should be made by the senior, excellent, knowledgeable, and loving people. And type of cooking, as I told you, if we saute the sabji with ghee, that gives rise to mode of goodness. Pure thoughts, while eating the food, honoring the food, prasad, our thoughts should be pure. Why, even while cooking, thoughts should be pure. Because in hotel we see, if they cook with their insane mind, the effect of the food is on the people insane. And assistants cook the food, servers who will serve the food, they should be satisfied. And the seed should be old grains, as we know. Grains are sattva-guni, but if they are new grains, then they are tamoguni. They give rise to metabolic disorder, especially diabetes and hypertension is the result of new grains, according to Ayurveda. And sanctified place. Our place of eating should be pure. So these are some of the thoughts regarding food. So I think we have. I will stop share.
Thank you so much, Dr. Memane, for such a wonderful seminar. I always call Dr. Memane as the miracle doctor. He has so many miracle stories to share. Like he shared the story about his mother and, the migraine thing and that pneumonia child. I mean, I myself have experienced so many miracles in my health just by following his guidance. So thank you so much for sharing this knowledge. And then actually, I didn't know that you are an expert in cooking also. So that's what today I read in your introduction. That was
Yeah, now
exciting.
you come to Mira Road that time. We will try to settle.
It was exciting to hear that. And we see for everyone just saying one thing, that how, just think about it, that Lord Krishna has shared so much on the transcendence in Bhagavad Gita, 700 verses. But then he has made some very practical points of how the whole spirituality is rooted in some practical guidance from just from the food, we can get so much just by getting guided on how to have the right kind of food. So this is so nice hearing all this. But I mean, I can share so many points which I like personally from your seminar. Every time I hear, I just get retuned in my habits of how to live proper life and how to eat properly. And Target Pass was such a good summary to take home message. So if anyone has any questions, please ask at this point, because we are at the end of seminar. But once again, thanks from my side to Dr. Memane for this systematic presentation.
Yeah, one question is there.
Who is, it's a raise hands, or yeah, it's here.
Good morning. I'm working in night shift. I feel hunger often, and I'm having daily 2-3 packets of uh,
Good day biscuits.
good day biscuit. Daily, it is okay. So, Prabhuji, I don't know the background, but I would suggest you, uh, if you eat homemade food and eat slowly, eat slowly, then the satisfaction point will work. Because as we know, there is mental phase of digestion. It takes almost 10 to 12 minutes to understand some food has entered into the stomach to the brain. So there is a gut brain axis. It works after within 10 to 12 minutes. And we come to know that we have eaten food after 12 minutes. So if we chew slowly, allow all the food particles to touch the tongue, and then our tongue becomes satisfied, because tongue is the source of all senses. So as tongue is satisfied, then we feel satisfied in our body. So I would suggest, if you are eating little fast, then try to eat slow. And if you are eating the food which is cooked by your loving people, that is mother, sister, or wife, then that would be great, because it also gives the satisfaction. If always you are eating outside food, then it becomes little difficult to get satisfied. And even and because night shift is there, so if you are physically working that time, definitely you will be having little different habit other than other people, because when we sleep, our metabolic rate is at different level, and our requirement of the nutrition is also at different level. We are at resting phase, so there is no need of any extra food during that 8 to 10 hours. But if you are working at night, then you may require, I would suggest you, rather than taking biscuit, you can have milk, because milk is the complete food. Fat, vitamin, protein, minerals, almost all those are present in milk. So if you drink milk alone, that is also sufficient. Even you can drink milk once in 2-3 hours also, if required. But see these 2-3 points, that you eat slowly, food made with loving people, and try to take milk at night, because the biscuits and good day, sometimes once in 15 days is okay, but daily if you take that biscuits, then it will definitely hamper your mycobacterial flora.
Okay, anyone else want to speak anything or ask anything or write anything? Here another question, please. You can read it.
I am 20 years old. I have the issue of eczema over 20 years. My hand. I have no fingerprints. We try to diagnose it a lot, but cannot track. I also do household chores after disease close. I have tried all and every type of medicine during the last 2 years. Allopathy medicine reduced with little bit, but it's still there. I can observe information. The business must be eat more. Plus, cook leftover rice at night, so report on what we can do. Should we stop eating? Yes, you need to stop that because
Actually,
or-
everybody did not get the question. So can you just tell in summary what the question was? Yeah.
so उसमें जैसे ना she has told she has some skin issue in palm and some skin problem. Basically, the according to Ayurveda, this lies in blood, and she is getting very clearly she is getting this worsening of the disease uh, premenstrually, means when the blood impurity is at peak in the woman before menses, and if her blood is already impure, then during menses it is doubly impure. So that time she shows the signs in more effective way. So for that purpose we need to understand, we need to identify the causes for her blood impurities. General causes are like eating sour, fermented, stale, tikha, dahi, curd, and even thoughts, anger, argumentative nature. These things affect blood negatively and it gives blood impurities. We have to stop those things. And the rice which she said, which is left over, one overnight the rice is kept in the water and then it is eaten along with the chili. So it may be very attractive for some people, other people, but for her now it is not good. She should stop that, and she should even stop the mode of passion food, as I explained. This katu amla lavan ati ushna. So बहुत very pungent, very sour thing, salty, extra salt, and fried food. Ruksha, that is very dry, that is chana, matar, and cucumber and watermelon. And tikshna, that is very sharp, provocative taste is there. You feel like air coming out of ears and nose, running nose. That food should be definitely avoided, and she should start eating food in mode of goodness, which is made with ghee. If she starts that, then the cause will be stopped. So disease will not progress, and she definitely need right kind of medicine. Now, allopathy medicine will help her because it has the effect of helping immediately. So it will help, but it will again come because they will not address the cause. So cause will be addressed by this, and some medicines she will require. She can have virtual consultation so that I can come to the conclusion of right selection of medicine. So she can definitely take the benefit of our virtual consultation. But Vedant Hospital, she can take. Even she is in Orissa or some other place, she can have virtual consultation.
There is a small comment here. Hi Prabhuji, I am an athlete and I take whey, whey, eggs, milk, soya for protein. Are they good to improve my sattva guna? Yeah, this is a question.
Egg, are you? He is eating egg also.
Yes, yes, yes.
So Prabhuji, you say there is no need of eating egg because as we see, Marat in Maharashtra they call it as Satbari. Satbari means one Maratha is equal to 60 Mughals. So generally the history goes like this. Swami Samartha Ramdas Swami, he actually made temples of Hanuman all over India. So he had talim, that is the people who exercise daily and do wrestling daily and build the body. So he made many supportive people he made for Shivaji Maharaj. He made in his talim, and these people they were actually all vegetarian people. They used to eat bhiga chana, that is soaked chana in water. So now also the tradition is same, either soaked chana or soaked urad dal. They soak it in water because you are athlete, you do exercise for more than 3, 4, 5 hours. These people also, they were doing this much exercise. Means they were lifting the weight of 3 to 4 quintal at a time. Can you imagine? 3 to 4 quintal. There was a stone in our village, a round stone. We used to have 10 people to lift that stone, but those pahalwans, they used to lift with 2 hands. It was the ability and the exercise which were put by them for developing their body, but they were eating vegetarian food and the vegetarian source of proteins. chana and urad dal, soak it in water and eat directly in morning because you are doing 2-3 hours exercise. And what is the difference between vegetarian proteins and non-vegetarian proteins? Because why these Marathas, they were also having 2 hands and 2 legs, and why they used to be 60 times better than these Mughals? There is only 0.3 second difference. These Mughals, they are also having same energy and power, but the swiftness of the actions was 0.3 seconds faster by these Marathas because they used to have vegetarian food. Please remember these Pahalwans, especially for Swami Samarth Ramdas Bhaktas, they used to have these vegetarian proteins, and this vegetarian protein actually make you think little faster and act little faster. So vegetarian proteins give you swift action, swift thought than non-vegetarian. So उनका तलवार ऐसा आने से पहले 0.3 सेकंड आपका उनके पेट में घुस जाता. This is the difference. So you can your passion will increase if you eat anda, because egg is a garbha, that is fetus, and fetus, to eat fetus is not definitely going to increase your mode of goodness. So I would suggest you can stop that egg, and you can eat, no need of eating soya proteins also. You can eat udad proteins and chana proteins. That is the sufficient for you. Eat in large quantity and do your exercise, whatever you want to have. I have many patients, like athlete patients. One small tennis player, when she was 5 years old, from that she is having chana and udad proteins, and she is doing her tennis practice in America now. She is professional tennis player, becoming now 15, I think 14, 15 years she must be now. So she is very happily doing that. Her body is nicely developed. Even Maharana Pratap, forget about non-vegetarian. Maharana Pratap ji used to lift 75 kilos sword in one hand, 75 kilos dhal in one hand. And when this Bahlul Khan or some other Senani came in front of him, within one shot, he actually make a part of that, so that person and horse in single shot. This Mahana Pratap was eating not only vegetarian, but was eating onion garlic free food. Can you imagine this? So the vigor and strength lies in our mind and intellect, and the sources are like whatever are available. Chana and udad protein is the best source of protein which you can have if you are exercising.
Rice soaked overnight and eaten the next day. I was told that it was good, and my father used to take every day and healthy. Please suggest.
Yeah, generally in Orissa and Bengal, this is the tradition. So it's not the tradition in Maharashtra and other places, because there it may be useful, Prabhu, because modern science are also looking into it, and they have found some good results of it, but that's not complete aspect. I have seen now they are seeing some different aspect, but I have seen many patients who are having migraine and hyperacidity by eating this type of rice. Even forget about migraine, Prabhu, some people have developed pancreatitis. One of my very near one person from Bengal, he has, when I asked him whether you were eating chili or not, he said, yes, I used to eat pakhal rice and along with 2-3 chilies daily. That person developed pancreatitis, bro. He got admitted pancreatitis, and uske baad uska जीवन just changed, and he developed diabetes due to post pancreatitis effect. So the chili is passion, and soaking the rice in water is ignorance. And again, I would say the people, the season, and the place decides the outcome of the food. That is also there. If some controlled person eats that food, and that food in that area, Orissa, where the temperature may be very useful for them, their dietary habits are there. So if the Orissa person comes in Mumbai, and if he daily starts eating that pakhal rice, then that person will develop the disease, because he has left Orissa now. So we have to see this, because any sentence is not blank statement for all. the chashma, these spectacles is not useful for all. It is only for me. It's like that. So it's specific area for specific time. They can be having. Maybe they were not having some grains which are easily available. The abilities to cook always will not be there. There are many points to be taken care. So pakhal rice for some people it is very good. There is no need to cook. You just do sadhana and get up. The thing is ready and just eat that. But it's not practical for all and not advisable for all. Please remember, it's not advisable for all.
नमस्कार. नमस्कार डॉक्टर वैद्यराज नमस्कार. मी मुकुंद टांगसाळे बोलतोय. आपल्या मुंबईसाठी विशेषतः ठाण्यासाठी खाऱ्या हवेमध्ये कोणत्या प्रकारचं खाणं योग्य राहील, विशेषतः प्रौढांसाठी, म्हणजे 60-65 वरच्या लोकांसाठी?
येस, तर मुंबईमध्ये खाण्यासाठी खारी हवा आहे. खारी हवाने काय होतं ना, आपल्या शरीरामध्ये श्वासातून पाणी जातं, पाणी. आणि पाणी हे अग्नीचा शत्रू आहे. त्याच्यामुळे आपल्या शरीरामध्ये तमोगुण नॅचरली, जस्ट बाय बिईंग इन ठाणे, तमोगुण नॅचरली आपल्या शरीरात असतो. त्याच्यामुळे त्या तमोगुणाने काय होतं, लिथार्जी आणि लॅक्सिटी आपल्याला नॅचरली वाटते. म्हणून त्या ठिकाणी आपल्याला स्पेशली इटिंग फ्रिक्वेन्सीज कमी ठेवायच्या, मल्टिपल इटिंग नाही ठेवायची. आणि फ्राईड, स्पेशली जो वडा समोसा खाण्याची जी सवय आहे ना ती, कारण की जिभेला अग्नी कमी असल्यामुळे टेस्ट नसते, म्हणून असं हायपर टेस्टी गोष्टी खूप खाव्याशा वाटतात. पण तसं नाही खायचं. तर जी आपल्याकडे जी पद्धत आहे ना, थोडस आंबट बनवून खाता बघा, आंबोळी. कारण थोडासा जो आंबट आहे तो सत्वगुणी आंबटपणा आहे आंबोळीचा.
अच्छा,
दॅट इज गुड. पोमिग्रॅनेट, डाळिंब हे ऍप्लिकेबल फॉर ऑल एरिया, ऑल सीजन, ऑल कंट्रीज. अनार कॅन बी इटन. कोकोनट इज व्हेरी गुड फ्रूट फॉर दिस एरिया. कोकोनट तुमच्या सब्जीमध्ये ठेवा, तुमच्या स्वीट मध्ये ठेवा. तुमच्या कोकोनट मिल्क तुम्ही सोलकडीमध्ये वापरा, थोडीशी आंबट बनवून. आणि आंबट बनवण्यासाठी ब्युटिफुली बघा तुम्ही, आपल्या मुंबई आणि कोकणामध्ये इतकं छान कोकम वापरलं जातं. कोकम, we don't use tamarind, we use kokum. Kokum is such a fantastic food which has sour taste, at the same time goodness effect. म्हणजे sourness असलेला goodness effect असलेल्या दोनच गोष्टी जास्तीत जास्त चांगल्या, म्हणजे आवळा आणि कोकम.
अच्छा.
So you can use kokum for making sabjis like little sour, to give taste to the tongue. And rice is of course is the staple food. That's very good. 1 year old rice. And especially because there is no habit of eating chapati and wheat much at this area, but we need proteins. We need little sthir food, that is which will give sthirta, because rice also is digested within 4 hours. So for that we need protein pulses, that is moong dal, tur dal, urad dal also, even chana dal also cooked nicely. Chana dal, when it is cooked nicely, put some coconut in that, kokum, and that chana dal also can be used along with rice. So dal should be there along with rice. We are not non-vegetarian, so we need wheat or bajra, nachni and kulthi. Kulthi is also there. Kulthi, nachni, bajra, wheat. And the richness of fruits. The richness of fruits is there in Sahyadri and Thane area. We can use mango for 3-4 months, and then other fruits which are available, we can definitely use those. Jackfruit is also there. We can use all those fruits which are grown locally this area. So we can make out. And of course, cow is there. Cow is there in humid area. Cow is there in hilly area. Cow is there in Pathar area. Everywhere cow is there, and that is the beauty of India. So we can definitely have cow milk, cow ghee, and cow buttermilk. Buttermilk also comes in mode of goodness. Please remember, even curd is mode of passion or ignorance, but buttermilk comes in mode of goodness.
Okay.
So that can be taken.
बरोबर. खूप खूप चांगलं. धन्यवाद वैद्यराज, धन्यवाद.
Dr. Nanasaheb, I have forwarded some questions. Only if you have time, you can take. I have sent you some.
Yeah. 5 minute कर सकते हैं.
Yes.
कौन सा है वो? Prabhu, your last question. How to offer food to Lord while traveling? We often purchase or in family functions. Offered food, everything seems difficult. Prabhuji, all have high craving for sweet. How to reach? अच्छा, दो प्रश्न है प्रभु इसमें.
Yes,
There are
there are
two
two different.
questions. Yeah, so definitely you can carry small photograph of Srila Prabhupada, or even you have mobile. Mobile also there is photograph of Prabhupada, and keep that screen still and keep it at one area. Make plate which plate you are going to make for yourself. So make that plate and offer that plate to Prabhupada. Prabhupada will offer it to the Lord. And just pray to the Prabhupada that Prabhupada Pranati Mantra you can say, or you just can pray to Prabhupada that please offer this food to God, and keep silence for some time and then take it as prasad. And you can just, even while traveling in train or plane and wherever, you just close your eyes, offer it to God, Prabhupada, and 3 to 5 minutes, you can just start having honoring the prasad. And sweet craving, same thing I explained you. First of all, knowledge would help this. You should know this because sweet contains earth and water in high quantity. Sweet contains earth and water element. And as we saw fundamentally, earth is mode of goodness, mode of ignorance, and water is mode of goodness also and mode of ignorance also. So when you eat sweet in controlled quantity, then it will give rise to sattva gun, mode of goodness. And when we eat sweet in large quantity, it will give rise to ignorance. Means what? Ignorance means physical ignorance also. So the desires will be developed as per ignorance. So sweet is the blade's razor's edge. If eaten in proper quantity, it will increase goodness. If eaten in large quantity, it will increase ignorance. So this knowledge, first of all, should be fit in our software. First thing. Second thing is that I told you, eat slowly. Start eating slowly from today itself. If you start eating slowly, your tongue has the ability to be satisfied, and the satisfied tongue gives you result of controlled mind. We are talking from dietary point of view. Spiritual practices, so definitely you are doing, but dietary point of view, because Charkacharya says, if you follow this diet lifestyle, you will get two benefits. One is you will get disease free. First benefit is disease free, and second benefit is mental strength. So following the restrictions, you develop mental strength. So for that, I told you, first of all, get knowledge, train your tongue, eat slowly, then reduce it gradually. Means daily, if you are eating daily sweet, then at least start eating once in 2 days, then once in 4 days, then once in a week. Then as per festival like Diwali ke din, Dashare ke din, Nag Panchami ke din, Holi ke din, Pola ke din, like that. So you have traditional festivals. So they have arranged all these festivals in this manner only. You will get taste, you will get bliss, and you will get spirituality. All the three things you will get, and also health. So we have to be complete about this thing, and then you can replace the pedha with some khajur. So little lesser sweet. Then you can replace the khajur with kismis, and slowly you come to the festival sweets, like that. And then you can control. Anyway, if you are not drinking tea or sweet daily, that itself is a half reduction.
Okay, I think we have end now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. So,
Hare Krishna.
yeah.
Dhanyavad. Dhanyavad. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
End the session now. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.